President Donald Trump's latest remark, "I'd love to make a great trade deal with China," has stunned analysts.
What happens with China? We would love to be able to work a deal.
Is this a retreat, a strategic shift, or just classic Trump diplomacy? Well, let's break down the timeline and what this could mean for the United States, China, and yeah, the global economy. President Trump, in his second term, promises to take back control of U.S. trade policy. He warns that America has been taken advantage of, naming China as the chief abuser.
Not only with, if you look at it, not only with China, but China was by far the biggest abuser in history.
It started with a bang. On April 3, 2025, Trump announced a sweeping new 10% tariff on all imports, from every country. His reasoning? America needed to reset unfair trade relationships and stop what he called decades of being ripped off. Markets reacted immediately and violently. The Dow Jones dropped over 1,000 points. European, Asian, and Latin American stock markets followed. Investors rushed to safe havens like gold and the dollar. The message was clear: the global economy had just entered dangerous territory.
So, if you look at that, China, first row, China, 67%. That's tariffs charged to the USA, including currency manipulation and trade barriers. So,
within days, China retaliated. On April 5th, Beijing announced a new round of tariffs targeting $100 billion in U.S. exports, everything from soybeans and beef to tech products and airplanes. They also suspended certain rare earth exports, a move with major implications for American industries dependent on advanced materials. So, the tit-for-tat escalated even further, with Washington slapping even tougher penalties specifically on China, accusing them of manipulating trade and stealing intellectual property. The result? Well, global trade routes got disrupted, supply chains were seriously strained, and corporate confidence, yeah, it took a real hit. Economists warned, this isn't just a trade dispute, it's a prelude to a recession. As fears grew, Trump, well, he remained defiant. At a rally in Michigan, he said,
because I'm telling you, these countries are calling us up, kissing my ass. They are dying to make a deal. Please, please, sir, make a deal. I'll do anything. I'll do anything, sir.
He portrayed the chaos as a sign of American strength, arguing that the tariffs were working, pressuring countries to the table, including European allies, Japan, and Brazil. But behind the scenes, U.S. companies, farmers, and consumers, yeah, they were feeling the squeeze. Prices began to rise, exporters faced canceled orders, and recession chatter, it got louder. In an unexpected move, Trump paused tariffs for 90 days for 75 countries, including key allies in Europe, Asia, and Latin America. But one country was notably excluded: China. Instead, Trump announced additional tariffs specifically targeting Chinese goods, citing national security and intellectual property violations. The standoff deepened. Yet even as tensions rose, Trump made an unexpected statement.
I did a 90-day pause for the people that didn't retaliate, because I told them if you retaliate, we're going to double it. And that's what I did with China, because they did retaliate.
At a business forum in Dallas, Trump said,
What happens with China? We would love to be able to work a deal. They've really taken advantage of our country for a long period of time. They've ripped us off beyond anybody, nobody. How people stood for it, sitting in my position, is not even believable. And we're talking about many presidents, not just a couple. But they did, and all we're doing is putting it back in shape. We're resetting the table. And I'm sure that we'll be able to get along very well. I have great respect for President Xi. He's been, in a true sense, he's been a friend of mine for a long period of time. And I think that we'll end up working out something that's very good for both countries. I look forward to it.
I'd love to make a great trade deal with China if it's fair and puts America first. This comment caught global attention. Was it a sign of softening, a reset, a face-saving pivot? Analysts say Trump is trying to keep China off balance, combining pressure with public diplomacy to extract a better deal. This tariff war isn't just a US-China issue, it's reshaping global trade. Supply chains are shifting, developing economies are being forced to pick sides. Global institutions like the WTO are struggling to keep up, and investors are bracing for a volatile 2025. The stakes are massive. If diplomacy fails, the economic shock could turn into a global slowdown, or worse, a recession. So as Trump pushes, pauses, and pivots, world leaders and markets are left wondering, will this end in a deal? or disaster,